Hello everyone, this is Fine from Awesome Tech Gaming Pro. I hope you all are well. Today I'm going to talk about the two TV, the Sony X85K, the 2022 model TV and 2023 model Sony X85L. The X85L takes most out of the boxes. It's serious for heavy fans shopping to its budget will be looking for. For starters, it uses a contrast-rich VF type of panel, though this does limit its effective viewing angles, that it illuminates using LEDs positioned directly behind the screen rather than around its edges. Such direct lighting almost always has the potential to deliver better light control than X85K. If you are new in my channel, then please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications and upcoming videos. I have another channel named Tech Gaming Villa, where I upload similar kind of tech videos like TV comparison, sound system, home theater. You can check and subscribe. But as mentioned, that Sony hasn't left it there for the X85L range, adding a local dimming system. A quick head count of the dimming zones of 55-inch sample, though reveals that there only appear to be 24 of them. That really doesn't sound a lot when you consider that the recently TCL C845K, which has 576 dimming zones despite costing roughly the same amount of price. Sony's picture processing is much better than TCL. The X85L though carries Sony's now slightly aging X1 brain rather than the more recent cognitive XR processor. The X1 processor still has a strong reputation for its handling of color, backlighting, detailing, and motion, but it likely won't deliver quite such natural, three-dimensional and refined pictures as Sony's cognitive XR models. The X85L's connections comprise 4 HDMIs, 2 USBs, 1 composite video input, satellite and terrestrial tuner inputs, 1 digital audio output, and an Ethernet port. Plus, of course, there are both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth wireless options, just like X85K. 2 of the 4 HDMIs are capable of handling the key HDMI 2.1 gaming features of 4K 120Hz phase, VRR and LLM, just like X85K. Plus, there's support for the exclusive PlayStation 5 features of Auto HDR tone mapping. But the console can detect the exact model of Sony TV it's connected to and adjust its HDR output accordingly and auto-generate picture mode selection. The true HDMI 2.1 also support ER technology, where the TV can pass out lossless Dolby Atmos soundtracks over HDMI to ER compatible soundbars or AV receivers. Having 2 rather than all 4 HDMI supporting HDMI 2.1 features seems fair enough on a mid-range TV such as X85L or X85K. As with most other Sony TVs for 2023, though there are a couple of unusual limitations to the gaming support. Even for the 2 high bandwidth HDMIs, essentially you have to choose between the 3 setting options. Enhanced format, which can handle 4K 120Hz but not the Dolby Vision HDR format. Enhanced format, Dolby Vision, which supports Dolby Vision but not 4K 120Hz feeds. Enhanced format, which locks the TV into its fastest response game mode and supports VRR, but locks you out of some of the picture quality adjustments. You might want to use to improve picture quality with games that don't depend on fast reaction times. The Dolby Vision support does work normally with video sources, though along with the more basic HDR10 and HLG HDR formats. There's no support though for the HDR10 Plus rival for Dolby Vision at a time when a growing number of rival brands, including Panasonic, Philips, TCL, and Hisense, are starting to produce TVs that can handle all 4 of the big 4 HDMI formats. The X85L's smart features are provided by the Google TV platform as usual, supported by the UView app that onboards the UK terrestrial broadcaster catch-up apps that aren't supported by Google TV. Google TV also supports Chromecasting and Google Assistant voice control as well as Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. This X85L's audio finally is delivered by a 210-watt audio system using Sony's full-range bass reflex X balanced speaker design with its extended bass pressure response. There's a useful auto calibration system built into the TV that optimizes the sound output to your room layout. Plus, finally, the X85L supports built-in Dolby Atmos decoding, just like X85K. If you see the picture quality of this 2 TV, They are pretty close. Sony's X85 TVs have always delivered respectable picture quality, but the addition of local dimming to the X85L takes things to a new level. The X85L clearly slightly better than X85K. As we drove, adding local dimming even over just 24 separate zones clearly boosts the screen's contrast performance when showing relatively dark scenes, giving them more impact and a more convincing HDR feel, as the screen is able to deliver a wider range of light between the picture's darkest and brightest areas. The extra level of light control across shots that contain a tough mix of bright and dark content, such as those in the slaughterhouse near the start of it on 4K Blu-ray, also helps such scenes look more three-dimensional and brings out more subtleties and accuracy in the screen's rendering of dark colors. The brightest part of HDR images deliver more punch than they have on previous X85K models, with the intensity of such highlights looking all the stronger because they are able to appear against impressively deep black levels thanks to the efforts of local dimming engine. Remarkably, given that the X85L only carries 24 separate dimming zones, these local dimming related improvements are delivered without typically the picture suffering badly at all, with the sort of light blooms, halos around standard bright objects that local dimming systems so often throw up. The X85L's screen is better than most at soaking up reflections too, making it easier for dark scenes to remain watchable even in a fairly light environment. The X85L also handles sudden changes in brightness very well, avoiding the sort of distracting backlight brightness jumps where a scene passes between dark and bright content you get with TVs equipped with less sophisticated picture processing systems. In fact, the longer you watch the X85L, the more you will start to realize that its greatest strength overall is the incredibly deft way it's processing marshals all of the different elements of image quality to deliver pictures with so much balance, refinement, subtlety, and insight that they frequently feel like they should be coming from a high-end TV rather than a mid-range one. This is apparent as we have seen in the X85L's use of light, but it's arguably at its most potent with the screen's color performance. For one thing, the set retains impressively rich saturations in dark scenes, avoiding that flat, cool look that so many other mid-range and budget TVs tend to be infiltrated by during dark sequences. X85L isn't bright enough to deliver massive color volumes during bright scenes, but such content still looks vibrant by typical mid-range TV standards, and with both dark and bright scenes, the subtlety with which the X85L manages to render subtle color shifts and blends is exceptional, especially considering it's using Sony's X1 processor rather than the latest, more potent cognitive exert system. This subtlety ensures that skin tones look particularly great by mid-range TV standards, and the color fitness in conjunction with the improved light controls creates a picture that looks gorgeously packed with the sort of infinitely small but no less important touches that creatives pour into mastering the most beautiful movies and TV shows. One slightly unusual feature of the X85L's picture, given what I've said about how natural and refined they look, is that its best results arguably occur when it's running in its standard picture preset rather than the cinema mode, which you might ordinarily expect would give the best results. The cinema mode on the X85L does, to be fair, deliver the most refined balance with some picture element, but its images also tend to suffer with more noticeable backlight blooming effects, and very unexpectedly can also lose some shadow details in the darkest picture areas that remain visible in standard mode. Having mentioned a couple of issues with the X85L's pictures, we might as well throw in a few more. First, perhaps because it's still not the brightest mid-range HDR TV around, tested and similarly priced TCL C85K, many bright highlights can leave a little loose subtle shading information. Occasionally, a really dark scene can cause the TV's dimming zones to display a little instability while using the Otherwise, excellent standard preset too. And side by side comparisons, actually you can find the TCL C85K achieving deeper black levels during the darkest scenes than the X85K and X85L does. Finally, in the negative column, very bright HDR scenes can sometimes look slightly soft, even with native 4K sources. Even more impressive is how well the X85L handles motion, with some of its excellent motion processing options managing to reduce judder without creating the jaded over smooth soap opera effect, generating unwanted processing side effects, losing resolution with moving objects, or looking processed and unnatural. This is another area, along with less blooming and generally more balanced, refined and cinematic picture feel, where the X85L scores a clear advantage over its aggressive Ultra TCL C845K, and it's slightly better than the Sony X85K. Sound quality, the X85K and X85L both are pretty similar sound, which is more about subtlety than aggression, maybe to a fault actually, as its attempt to keep everything in balance and proportion seem to bind fairly conservative limits on its maximum volume and distance it can cast sound away from its bodywork. The X85L, being aware of and working within the limitations of its speaker design, though also hears some welcome strengths, so details in a mix, both subtle and bold and reproduced with excellent clarity and proportionality. Trigger doesn't typically become shrill under duress either. And while the TV doesn't have the power to keep opening up all the way to the very loudest parts of the most aggressive action scenes, it does at least avoid the sense of sound falling away on itself under extreme pressure that many TV speakers exhibit. Finally, while bass is only moderately present in terms of both the depths it can reach and its weight within the overall mix, it doesn't become over-dominant or succumb to buzzing, crackling, or dropouts like some more bass-heavy TV sound systems do. Of course, while the X85L sounds good for a TV, particularly one in its price category, it will be comfortably beaten by even a decent and relatively affordable soundbar. So finally, I will say both the X85K and X85L isn't the showiest mid-range TV in town, especially since TCL's C845K recently have shown, which is slightly better, I will say. The X85L's pictures, though, are gorgeously refined, helping them achieve a beautifully natural finish packed with the sort of subtleties and niceties, especially when it comes to color and contrast that professional content creators work so hard to build to their ultra-refined and cinematic masters. So what's your thought about this 2TB X85K and X85L? Both are good, but X85L are just better. Tell me your thoughts about this 2TB. Please write in the comments below. That's it from now.